You guys gotta understand, bro. I've made some like weak salary that I wouldn't get out of bed for with Faze over the last X amount of years. It's like I don't even account for it. Everybody has these like deals where like if they get fired or they go somewhere else, they get millions of dollars. Like I've never touched that much money at Faze ever. I've spent money on Faze. It's crazy.
I want to talk about something. Do you remember when I first moved in and I was like, Ricky, should I join Faze? You know what you told me? You said, F no.
Probably because I keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Doubtful and a waste of money. If you were to ask the CEOs of major esports labels what are their thoughts on esports as a whole, they're probably going to give you an answer within the lines of that. Is there even a future for Valorant Esports? Or is it more of just a bias kind of situation? While some organizations thrive, and there's no doubt whatsoever about their ongoing success, there are some organizations that have been absolutely plummeting to the ground. One good example of this would be a organization like Sentinels, which may come to a bit of a shock to you guys. When you think of Valorant Esports, Sentinels is probably one of the first ones you think about. Sentinels has been the face of Valorant Esports for all this time at this point now, since Valorant even became an esport at this point. And despite copying some of the biggest names in the Valorant scene, like Tens, Shazam, Shroud, Tarek, they are financially struggling, and there is a bit of doubt when it comes to the future of Sentinels. Like how in 2023, Sentinels has recorded over $8 million in losses. Sentinels has also admitted to burning over $600,000 every month, which is to be expected. They need to pay off the huge creators and players that basically carry the team, keep it alive. But because it's very obvious that the finances are on life support at Sentinels, there has been occasions where they needed to start crowdfunding campaigns just to keep Sentinels alive, which I'm assuming has worked considering the fact that Sentinels is still alive and thriving. But it's very obvious that there needs to be some financial literacy to the Sentinels. But when it comes to managing the company, they are easily dwarfed, being compared to a company like the Guard. The Guard is infamous for probably being one of the worst managed esports corporations ever. Not a day goes by where someone shit talks how poorly the Guard manages their company. The Guard made headlines after they fired literally everyone, and that is not an exaggeration. The only people that remained at the Guard are the actual professional players themselves. As it turns out, KSC, or Kroenke Esports and Entertainment, the company that owns the Guard, is in general trying to downsize the company, as they're trying to shift away from esports in general. But a bold statement such as firing every single employee still shocked a lot of people, especially since it made Twitter headlines, even getting the attention of Sentinels. But leading up to the actual layoffs themselves, they were poor at managing things in general, including but not limited to VCT themselves confirming that the Guard failed to meet every deadline to participate in VCT America's 2024. Yep, all deadlines were missed, and the odds of the Guard appearing in any sort of VCT in the future is very low now. The amount of neglect the Guard gets was so bad, it even got the attention of Disguised Toast himself, saying that at this point he'd much rather just buy the actual players from the Guard. In general, it's really hard to look at the Guard without feeling any sort of empathy for the employees. But have you ever felt empathy for the CEO of an esports organization? Because that's sort of what happened with Faze Clan. Faze Clan was so poorly managed, it was to the point where they had to straight up end Valorant Esports as a whole. Can't say this was financially related, but overall, Faze Clan is probably struggling the most financially compared to any sort of esports organization. As soon as Faze Clan went public on the Nasdaq, it honestly just only went down from there. You see, Faze Clan was originally valued at $13 per share, which is pretty tolerable for a stock that just went public. But as time went on, it hit a record low of 37 cents, making Faze probably one of the worst investments you could have made in 2023. It was so bad that Faze considered going private, because investing in Faze was basically a lost cause at this point. Hey guys, editing Peep is awesome here. I said 37 cents because that's what the articles I've been researching said. But as it turns out, Faze is still on the Nasdaq and it's currently worth 19 cents. Not 37 cents. So, yeah, this stock's a lost cause. Following up with the catastrophe that was known as investing in Faze, Faze had no choice but to slash almost 20% of their workforce. As soon as decisions like this are being made, you know a company is fumbling. Following up, you know a company's bad when its own owners go out of their way to shit talk how bad the company is. But you see, there is an actual reasoning to all of this. It wasn't Faze Banks. Yes, the owner of Faze Clan, it's not even his fault. It was the corporations that they sold Faze to. Faze Clan was no longer the esports organization you know and love. Faze slowly became corrupt, and it was no longer the vision that the original Faze CEOs had in mind. But there is still faith in Faze Clan, as Faze Banks stepped up as CEO again, and he has revealed plans to bring Faze back to life, and hopefully thrive just as well as they did back then. But we can't talk about struggling esports organizations without bringing up 100 Thieves. Now, 100 Thieves has accomplished a lot ever since they became an organization. 100 Thieves is probably one of the biggest esports apparel brands at the moment. They have their own energy drink line. They have a whole game in development that goes under the codenamed Project X. And for God's sake, they had a Gucci collab. Not every company can say they collabed with Gucci, but things get a little skeptical when Nadeshot, the CEO of 100 Thieves, is rumored to be stepping down from his position, as Nadeshot removed 100 Thieves everywhere on social media. On top of that, Google's saying that he's the former CEO of 100 Thieves. Since the esport market is slowly crumbling, it would be no surprise that someone like Nadeshot would step down, but it still caught a lot of people off guard. But this was quickly debunked. It was actually just a technical glitch on Google, and Nadeshot verbally confirmed that he's not going anywhere.
Former CEO? Former CEO? What's going on here? What are we talking about right now? Chad, I don't control what Google says. Google don't know me. Former CEO. Until I tell you something has happened, nothing has happened. Okay?
But the only reason I'm bringing this up is because this just added a lot of fire to the already ongoing dumpster fire that 100 Thieves is. Recently, 100 Thieves laid off 20% of the staff. No surprise there, the esports market is very concerning right now. But this is actually the third major layoff they've had this past year. 100 Thieves is just slowly firing everyone. The layoffs even transitioned slowly into ending the content house that they had. The content creation scene in general for 100 Thieves was not looking good, considering the fact that many huge streamers from 100 Thieves voluntarily left, one of them being Kaide, one of the biggest faces on Valorant. And with these 4 huge examples, you really do start to question if there even is a future for Valorant esports. Alright, that's all. See ya. Bye.